The apartment smelled like burnt toast and desperation. Maya Santos scraped blackened bread into the trash, cursing under her breath. Her daughter, Lily, sat at their tiny kitchen table, coloring with crayons worn down to nubs, pretending not to notice that breakfast was ruined. Again. "It's okay, Mama," Lily said, her 7-year-old voice too understanding, too mature. "I'm not that hungry anyway." Maya's chest tightened. That was the problem, wasn't it? Lily was always not that hungry lately, not because she wasn't, but because she'd learned not to ask for things they couldn't afford. "You're eating," Maya said firmly, pulling out the last 2 eggs from the fridge. "Scrambled, okay? If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you." "Scrambled is perfect." Maya cracked the eggs into a pan, watching them sizzle in the cheap margarine. Through the kitchen window, she could see the Chicago skyline in the distance. Gleaming towers where people lived lives she couldn't imagine. Lives with savings accounts and health insurance and fridges that actually stayed full. Her phone buzzed. A text from the billing department at Children's Memorial Hospital. Another reminder. Lily's asthma medication from last month. $873 still outstanding. Payment arrangements available. Maya deleted it. She'd call them later. Maybe. If she could figure out what to say that wasn't, "I'm drowning and I don't know how to stop." "Mama, you're burning the eggs." Maya jerked back to reality, flipped the eggs quickly. They were a little brown, but salvageable. She plated them, added the last piece of unburnt toast, cut it in half. "Eat up, baby. You've got school in 20 minutes. While Lily ate, Maya checked her phone again. 3 missed calls from Westside Cleaning Services, the company where she worked the night shift scrubbing. Office buildings. They'd probably found someone to cover her permanently. She'd missed 4 shifts in 2 weeks because Lily kept getting sick, kept needing her. Single mothers didn't get to choose between their kids and their paychecks. They just lost both, slowly, inevitably. Her second phone buzzed. The cheap prepaid one she used for her side gigs. A text from an unknown number. "Emergency babysitter needed tonight. 6 p.m. midnight. $200 cash. Child is 6. Well-behaved. Northside address. References required. Reply yes if available." Maya stared at the message. $200. That was groceries for 2 weeks. That was the electric bill. That was breathing room. But evening babysitting meant leaving Lily with Mrs. Chen downstairs, and Mrs. Chen had already watched her 3 times this week. Maya couldn't keep asking. Her phone buzzed again. Westside Cleaning. "Maya, if you can't commit to your scheduled shifts, we'll need to find someone more reliable. Last warning." She looked at Lily, eating scrambled eggs and humming softly, at the eviction notice tucked under a magnet on the fridge, at the empty cabinet where cereal should be. Maya texted back, "Yes, available tonight. Can provide references." The response came in seconds. Address: 1247 Lakeshore Drive, Penthouse 4. Arrive at 5:45 p.m. Ask for Marcus at security. Do not be late. Lakeshore Drive. That was the wealthy part of town, where condos cost millions and doormen wore uniforms nicer than her entire wardrobe. Maya's instincts prickled. Rich people and cash payments usually meant something was off, but $200 was $200, and desperation made you ignore instincts. By 5:30 that evening, Maya stood outside the gleaming glass tower on Lakeshore Drive, feeling profoundly out of place. Women in designer coats swept past her into the lobby. A Tesla pulled up to the valet. Everything screamed money in a language Maya had never learned to speak. She'd left Lily with Mrs. Chen, promising to be back by 12:30, leaving $20 for pizza. $20 she couldn't afford. But guilt costs more than money. "Can I help you?" The doorman looked her up and down, his expression carefully neutral but unmistakably judgmental. "I'm here for Penthouse 4, babysitting. I'm supposed to ask for Marcus." His eyebrows rose slightly. "Name?" "Maya Santos." He picked up a phone, spoke quietly, then hung up. "Take the elevator to the top floor. Marcus will meet you." The elevator was all mirrors and marble. Maya caught her reflection, tired eyes, Target jeans, a coat she'd owned since high school. She looked exactly like what she was, someone who didn't belong here. The doors opened to a private hallway. Only 2 doors, both enormous. A man stood waiting, tall, broad-shouldered, with a scar running through his left eyebrow and eyes that missed nothing. Maya Santos? His voice was gravel and warning. Yes, I'm Marcus, head of security for Mr. Russo. He studied her like she was a threat to be assessed. You came alone? You said babysitter, not bring backup. His mouth twitched. Almost a smile. ID. She handed over her driver's license. He photographed it with his phone, handed it back. Mr. Russo is in the middle of an important business meeting. His regular sitter canceled last minute. You'll be watching his son, Antonio, 6 years old. He's had dinner. Bedtime is 8:30. Do not enter Mr. Russo's office under any circumstances. Do not answer the door for anyone. If there's an emergency, you call me first. He handed her a card with a phone number. Not 911. Me. Understood? Maya's unease grew. What kind of emergency would understood? Marcus repeated, harder. Yes, understood. He opened the penthouse door. Maya stepped inside and forgot how to breathe. The space was enormous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Lake Michigan, the city lights reflecting on dark water like scattered diamonds. Marble floors, modern furniture that probably cost more than her car, art on the walls that looked museum quality. This wasn't wealth. This was power. Antonio is in the playroom, Marcus said, leading her through the space. He knows you're coming. He's shy at first but warms up quickly. They passed a closed door. Maya heard voices inside, deep, male, speaking in Italian. One voice rose slightly, angry. Another responded, calm but cold. Business meeting. Right. The playroom was at the end of the hall. Marcus knocked, then opened the door. A small boy sat on the floor, surrounded by Lego constructions that showed impressive architectural skill. He had dark curly hair, olive skin, and enormous brown eyes that looked up at Maya with careful assessment. Antonio, this is Miss Maya. She'll be with you tonight while Papa finishes his work. Antonio studied her silently. Hi, Antonio, Maya said gently, crouching down to his level. Wow, did you build all of these? He nodded. They're amazing. Is this a castle? A fortress, he corrected quietly. With defensive walls and a moat. Very smart. Fortresses need good defenses. Something shifted in his expression. A tiny crack in his careful guard. Marcus's phone buzzed. He checked it, frowned. I need to return to the meeting. You have my number. Remember, any problem, you call me first. Then he was gone, closing the door behind him. Maya sat down on the floor across from Antonio. So, Antonio, what else do you like to build? For the next 2 hours, Maya learned several things about Antonio Russo. 1. He was brilliant, scarily smart for 6 years old, with a vocabulary that rivaled some adults. 2. He was lonely. The way he talked, the way he lit up when she showed genuine interest in his Lego creations, told her he didn't get much attention. 3. He was scared of something. Every time they heard voices from elsewhere in the penthouse, he'd tense, listening, like he was waiting for danger. By 8 o'clock, they'd moved from Legos to books. Antonio had an impressive library classics, science books, even some philosophy that seemed absurd for a first grader. Do you want to pick a bedtime story? Maya asked. Can you read this one? He handed her a worn copy of Where the Wild Things Are. Maya smiled. This was my daughter's favorite when she was little. You have a daughter? I do. She's 7. Her name is Lily. Antonio considered this. Does she like Legos? She loves them, but we can't afford the big sets. She builds with whatever pieces we find at thrift stores. She shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have revealed her situation to a client's child. But Antonio just nodded. Like poverty was a concept he understood. Papa says money isn't what makes people good, he said quietly. Kindness is. Your papa sounds wise. He is. But he's also very busy. Antonio's voice got smaller. And sometimes people want to hurt him, because of his business. Warning bells rang in. Maya's head. What kind of business? What kind of 6-year-old talked about people wanting to hurt his father? Before she could respond, Antonio suddenly clutched his throat. His eyes went wide. If you find this story engaging, please take a moment to subscribe and enable notifications. It helps us continue producing in-depth content like this. Panicked. Antonio? Maya's heart lurched. What's wrong? He tried to speak, couldn't. His face was turning red. His hands clawed at his neck. Maya's training from her brief stint as a medical assistant kicked in instantly. She grabbed his face, looked in his mouth. His tongue was swelling. His breathing came in horrible wheezing gasps. "Antonio, did you eat something? What did you eat?" He pointed frantically at the nightstand. "A small bowl of mixed nuts." "Are you allergic to nuts?" He nodded desperately, tears streaming down his face. "Oh God. Anaphylaxis. Where's your EpiPen?" Maya was already moving, searching. "Antonio, where do you keep your medicine?" He pointed to the bathroom, but his movements were getting sluggish. His lips were turning blue. Maya ran, tore through the bathroom. Cabinet. Found it an EpiPen, thank God. She'd been trained on these. You didn't forget. She ran back, pulled off the safety cap, jammed the injector into Antonio's thigh through his pants. Held it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Antonio gasped. The swelling didn't go down immediately, but his breathing improved slightly. Not enough. Not nearly enough. "Marcus!" Maya screamed, scooping Antonio into her arms. "Marcus!" She ran through the penthouse, Antonio's small body growing heavier, more limp. The closed office door ahead. She didn't care about instructions. She kicked the door open. 6 men in expensive suits turned to stare. At the head of the table sat a man who could only be Antonio's father, same dark hair, same eyes, but older, harder, radiating authority that made the room feel smaller. Dante Russo's expression went from irritation to pure terror in a heartbeat. "Papa," Antonio wheezed. "He ate nuts," Maya said rapidly. "I gave him the EpiPen, but he needs a hospital now. The reaction is too severe." Dante was already moving, taking Antonio from her arms with surprising gentleness. "Marcus, car, now. Tell them we're coming in hot." "I'm coming with you," Maya said. "You've done enough. I'm a medical assistant. He's still in crisis. You need me." She met Dante Russo's eyes, refused to back down. "I'm coming." For a split second, something flickered in his gaze. Surprise. Assessment. Decision. Move. They ran for the elevator. Marcus and 2 other men flanked them, weapons visible now, not even bothering to hide them. Maya's brain registered this, registered what it meant, but survival instinct overrode fear. The elevator ride down felt eternal. Antonio's breathing rattled. His skin was blotchy, covered in hives. "Hold on, baby," Maya whispered, stroking his hair. "Stay with us." "Don't close your eyes, Antonio," Dante commanded, his voice steel wrapped in terror. "Look at me." Eyes open. Antonio struggled to comply. The elevator opened. They ran through the lobby, wealthy residents scattering in alarm, and outside to where a black SUV was already waiting, engine running. Dante climbed in the back with Antonio. Maya followed without asking permission. Marcus got in the driver's seat. They tore through Chicago streets at illegal speeds, running red lights, weaving through traffic. Marcus drove like he'd done this before, like high-speed emergencies were routine. "Children's Memorial is closest," Maya said. 6 blocks west, then north on... "I know where it is." Marcus cut her off. Of course he did. Maya kept her fingers on Antonio's pulse, kept monitoring his breathing. The EpiPen had bought them time, but not much. His airway was still compromised. He needed real medical intervention. "Stay with me, Antonio," she kept repeating. "Stay with Papa. We're almost there. Don't leave me," Antonio whispered, looking at Maya. Not his father. Her. "I won't. I promise." She didn't know why she made that promise, didn't know what it would cost, but looking at this scared little boy who'd shown her his Lego fortresses and quoted his father's wisdom about kindness, she meant it with everything she had. They pulled up to the ER entrance with squealing tires. Dante kicked the door open, carrying Antonio out. Maya ran beside them. "Anaphylactic shock," she told the triage nurse immediately. 6-year-old male, severe nut allergy, ingested almonds approximately 12 minutes ago. EpiPen administered at 7 minutes. Symptoms include tongue swelling, hives, respiratory distress, and altered consciousness. The nurse's eyes widened at Maya's professional assessment. She hit a button. "Trauma team to intake. Pediatric code blue." Doctors and nurses swarmed. They took Antonio from Dante's arms, the only moment Maya saw real emotion crack through his controlled exterior. Fear, raw and devastating. "You need to wait here," a doctor said, already rushing Antonio through the doors to the trauma bay. "Like hell," Dante started. "Sir, we need room to work." Please. Marcus put a hand on Dante's shoulder, a gentle restraint. Dante looked like he wanted to kill something, but he let them take his son. The doors swung shut. Dante stood there, hands clenched into fists, breathing hard. Blood stained his expensive shirt, Antonio's blood from where the EpiPen had injected. Then he turned to Maya. The full force of his attention was terrifying. He wasn't handsome in a conventional way. His face was too hard, too lived in, marked by a scar along his jaw and another through his eyebrow. But his eyes, dark brown and burning with intensity, held her frozen. You saved my son's life. It wasn't a question. I did what anyone... No. He stepped closer. Most people would have panicked, run for help, wasted time. You acted. You knew what to do. You didn't hesitate. His voice dropped. Who are you? Maya Santos, the babysitter. You said you're a medical assistant. I was. 2 years ago. I couldn't afford to finish the certification program, but I remember the training. Dante's eyes narrowed slightly, cataloging information, reading her like a book. How did he get the nuts? His voice was quieter now, but somehow more dangerous. I have strict protocols. Everyone who works for me knows about Antonio's allergy. That bowl should never have been in his room. Maya's stomach dropped. I don't know. It was just... there, on the nightstand. On the nightstand, Dante repeated slowly. He pulled out his phone, typed something. Marcus, review today's footage. Find out who put food in Antonio's room. Find out now. Marcus nodded, already moving. Dante looked back at Maya. You will wait with me. It wasn't a request. They sat in uncomfortable plastic chairs in the ER waiting room. Dante's men formed a perimeter, 4 of them now, watching exits, watching other people, creating a bubble of dangerous security around their boss. Maya should have been terrified. She understood, now, with crystal clarity, exactly what Dante Russo was. The weapons, the security, the way he said protocols, like military operations. The fear in Antonio's voice when he talked about people wanting to hurt his father. This was organized crime. This was the Mafia, and she'd just walked into the center of it. But when she looked at Dante, sitting rigid in his chair, she didn't see a criminal. She saw a father terrified he was going to lose his son. He's going to be okay, Maya said quietly. The EpiPen worked. His breathing stabilized before we got here. The hospital will monitor him, probably keep him overnight, but he'll be okay. You can't know that. I know enough. Dante turned to look at her. Really look at her. And Maya felt exposed, like he was seeing every secret, every struggle, every desperate choice that had led her to his door tonight. Why were you available on such short notice? He asked. The agency said they had to go through their emergency list. You weren't their first choice. I work nights usually, cleaning offices. I needed the extra money. 4? Maya's jaw tightened. That's personal. Everything about you just became my business. She should have been intimidated. Instead, she felt anger spark. Your son needed help. I helped him. That's all you need to know about me. A muscle ticked in Dante's jaw. Then, surprisingly, he nodded. Fair enough. They sat in silence. 20 minutes. 30. Finally, a doctor emerged. Dante was on his feet instantly. Mr. Russo? Antonio is stable. The reaction has been controlled. We're moving him to pediatric observation for the night, but he's going to be fine. Dante's entire body sagged with relief. Just for a moment. Then the armor snapped back into place. I want to see him. Of course. Follow me. Dante started to walk away, then paused, looked back at Maya. Come. I should go. You don't need... Antonio asked for you. His expression was unreadable. He said you promised not to leave him. Maya's heart twisted. That scared little boy in the car, holding her hand. She followed. Antonio was in a bed that looked too big for him, IV in his small arm, oxygen running through nasal prongs. But he was awake, and when he saw Maya, he smiled. Miss Maya. You stayed. I promised, didn't I? She moved to his bedside. Dante stood on the other side, taking his son's hand with careful gentleness. How are you feeling, mio figlio? Tired. My throat hurts. Antonio looked between them. Miss Maya saved me, Papa. She knew exactly what to do. I know. Dante's eyes found hers over Antonio's head. Something passed between them. Understanding, gratitude, something deeper that Maya couldn't name. A nurse came in to check vitals. Maya stepped back, giving them space. She should leave. Her job was done. She needed to get home to Lily, needed to collect her $200 and forget this night ever happened. But when she moved toward the door, Antonio's voice stopped her. "Miss, Maya, will you come back tomorrow?" She looked at Dante for permission. His expression was carefully neutral, but his eyes were measuring her, deciding something. "If your papa says it's okay, I'd like that," Dante said quietly. "We'll talk. About tonight. About other arrangements." Warning bells and warning bells and warning bells. But she nodded anyway. Because $200 wasn't enough anymore. Because she'd made a promise to a scared little boy. Because something in Dante Russo's eyes told her that walking away wasn't an option he'd allow. Maya left the hospital at 11:30, $200 in cash from Marcus and a business card from Dante with a phone number and 3 words, "Call me tomorrow." She took the train home, collapsing into a seat, exhausted and wired. She'd saved a child's life tonight. That should feel good. Should feel like redemption for all the ways she was failing Lily. Instead, it felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing that one more step would send her falling into something she couldn't escape. Maya looked at the business card. Heavy stock, embossed lettering, the kind of expensive detail that screamed power. She should throw it away. She tucked it carefully into her wallet instead. Maya has entered Dante's world through a medical emergency. Antonio is safe, but the inciting incident has created an irreversible connection. Dante sees her competence and courage. Antonio has bonded with her. And Maya, despite her better judgment, has made promises she doesn't understand the cost of yet. The stage is set for forced proximity, protection, and the slow burn of attraction built on respect and shared fear for a child they both want to keep safe. Maya didn't sleep that night. She lay on the couch in her tiny apartment, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment. Antonio's face turning blue, the EpiPen in her shaking hands. Dante's eyes when he looked at her in the hospital assessing, calculating, deciding something she wasn't privy to. At 6 a.m, she gave up on sleep, made coffee, checked on Lily, who was still asleep in their shared bedroom, curled up under the donated blankets Maya had gotten from the shelter last winter. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Miss Santos. Antonio was discharged at 7 a.m. Mr. Russo requests your presence at the penthouse at 10 a.m. to discuss terms of employment. Marcus will collect you at 9:45. Address on file. Maya stared at the message. Terms of employment. Not, thank you for last night or here's a bonus for saving my son. Employment. She should say no. Should text back that she already had jobs, that she couldn't get involved with whatever Dante Russo's world entailed. Instead, she texted, I'll be ready. Mrs. Chen agreed to take Lily to school. Maya showered, changed into the only professional outfit she owned, black slacks and a blue blouse that had seen better days, and waited on the stoop. At exactly 9:45, the black SUV pulled up. Marcus got out, opened the back door. Miss Santos, I can sit in front. Mr. Russo's instructions. Back seat. Maya climbed in. The SUV smelled like leather and something expensive. Marcus drove in silence, professional and impossible to read. How is Antonio? Maya asked. Recovered. Already asking to build Legos. A pause. He asked about you 4 times this morning. Something warm bloomed in Maya's chest. He's a sweet kid. He's a good kid in a complicated situation. Marcus glanced at her in the rearview mirror. Mr. Russo doesn't trust easily. But Antonio trusts you. That matters. Should I be worried about what I'm walking into? Marcus's expression didn't change. That depends. You good at following instructions? When they make sense. Then you'll be fine. Mr. Russo respects people who aren't afraid of him. Not many people qualify. The penthouse looked different in daylight. Less intimidating, more lived in. Toys scattered near. The windows. A coffee mug on the kitchen counter. Signs that a child actually existed in this space of wealth and danger. Dante stood at the floor-to-ceiling windows, phone to his ear, speaking rapid Italian. He wore dark slacks and a white dress shirt, sleeves rolled up, no jacket, more relaxed, but still radiating controlled power. He saw her, said something sharp into the phone, and hung up. Maya, thank you for coming. Your text didn't make it sound optional. His mouth quirked. Almost a smile. You're perceptive. Coffee? Sure. He poured 2 cups from an expensive-looking machine, handed her one. Their fingers brushed. She noticed he had calluses, not the soft hands of someone who only managed from behind a desk. Antonio is resting, Dante said. The doctor cleared him but recommended monitoring for the next 48 hours. No school, limited activity. He paused. He's asked for you 7 times this morning. Marcus said 4. 3 more since we left the hospital. Maya sipped her coffee. It was the best coffee she'd ever tasted. Of course it was. I need to understand something, Dante continued, his dark eyes holding hers. Last night you could have panicked. Could have called 911 and waited for help. Could have frozen. Why didn't you? Training. Instinct. He was dying. Most people's instinct is self-preservation, not action. He set his cup down. You ran into a room full of dangerous men without hesitation. You challenged me. You took control of a medical emergency with precision and competence. He stepped closer. Who are you, Maya Santos? I told you. A babysitter who used to be a medical assistant. Why did you stop? Maya's jaw tightened. That's personal. Everything became my business when you saved my son. His voice was gentle, but implacable. I need to know who I'm bringing into Antonio's life. She could lie, could walk out. But something in his gaze told her he'd find out anyway. Men like Dante had resources. My daughter got sick, Maya said quietly. Severe asthma. 3 hospital stays in 6 months. I missed too much class, fell behind, couldn't afford to continue the program and cover her medical bills. So I quit. Started working whatever jobs I could find that fit around her schedule. Dante's expression didn't change, but something softened in his eyes. How old is your daughter? 7. Her name is Lily. And her father? Gone. Left when she was 2. Haven't heard from him since. Dante nodded slowly, processing. The babysitting last night. You needed the money. I always need the money, Mr. Russo. That's what being poor means. Dante, he corrected. And I'm going to change that. Warning bells. I don't want charity. Good. I'm not offering charity. I'm offering employment. He moved to the kitchen counter, pulled out a folder. Antonio needs a full-time caregiver. Someone who understands his medical needs, who can respond in emergencies, who he trusts. He handed her the folder. I'm offering you that position. Maya opened it, her breath caught. Position. Private medical caregiver for Antonio Russo salary. $85,000 annually benefits. Health insurance. Full coverage, including dependents. Housing stipend. Vehicle allowance. Paid time off. Hours. Monday, Friday, 8 a.m., 6 p.m., with occasional evening, weekend needs start date. Immediate $85,000. That was more than double what she made working 3 jobs. That was health insurance. That was security. That was too good to be true. This is insane, Maya said. I'm not qualified for this salary. You're qualified to keep my son alive. That's worth more than any number on that page. Dante's voice was steady. Antonio has a rare genetic condition that makes him vulnerable to severe allergic reactions. His regular caregivers have been adequate. But last night proved I need someone with real medical knowledge. Someone who won't freeze in a crisis. You barely know me. I know everything about you. He pulled out his phone, scrolled. Maya Elena Santos, 28 years old, born in Pilsen, raised by a single mother who died when you were 19. Daughter Lily born when you were 21. Father unknown on birth certificate. You work nights at Westside Cleaning Services, weekends at a coffee shop in Lincoln Park, and pick up babysitting gigs through 3 different agencies. He looked up. You're 3 months behind on rent. Your daughter's medical debt is currently at $14,000. You haven't bought new clothes in 2 years. You donate plasma twice a month for extra money. His eyes held hers. You're drowning, Maya. I'm offering you a lifeline. She should have been angry at the invasion of privacy. Instead, she just felt tired, exposed. What's the catch? Smart. Dante set his phone down. The catch is that my world is dangerous. People want to hurt me, which means they want to hurt Antonio. If you take this job, you're accepting that risk. You're accepting my protection, my security, my rules. What kind of rules? Marcus vets everyone who comes near Antonio. You'll have a security detail when you're with him outside this building. You follow protocols. And, he paused, You tell no one about the specifics of my business. What you see here, what you overhear, stays here. Maya met his eyes. Are you asking me to work for the Mafia, Dante? The use of his first name felt dangerous. Intimate. He didn't deny it. I'm asking you to care for a 6-year-old boy who needs someone competent and kind. Everything else is background noise. Background noise that could get me killed. I won't let that happen. His voice was steel. You'll be under my protection. Anyone who touches you answers to me. That's not a small thing in this city. Maya looked at the contract again. At the salary that could change everything. At the health insurance that would finally cover Lily's medications. I need guarantees, Maya said. If I take this job, I need it in writing that Lily is covered under the health insurance. I need housing that's safe for both of us. And I need the right to walk away if things get too dangerous. Dante's eyes flickered with something like respect. Lily gets full coverage. I'll arrange housing in a secure building, 2 bedrooms, safe neighborhood, close to her school. You can walk away anytime. But, his voice hardened. Once you're in my circle, you stay silent about what you know. That's non-negotiable. Meaning? Meaning I protect my own. But betrayal? His smile didn't reach his eyes. I don't tolerate betrayal. It was a threat wrapped in silk. But Maya had been threatened by scarier things than powerful men. Poverty was terrifying. Watching your child go without was terrifying. This was just a different kind of danger. I want it in writing. All of it. You'll have contracts by end of business today. Dante extended his hand. Do we have a deal? Maya looked at his hand. This was it. The moment she either walked away or dove into something she didn't fully understand, she thought about Lily's inhaler running out, about the eviction notice, about working 3 jobs and still falling behind. She shook his hand. His grip was firm, warm, certain. We have a deal. Something flickered in Dante's eyes. Satisfaction, relief, something else she couldn't name. Good. Then let's go tell Antonio he's got a new full-time friend. Antonio was in his room, building what looked like a medieval castle. When Maya walked in, his face lit up like Christmas morning. Miss Maya, Papa said you might come back. Better than that, Dante said from the doorway. Miss Maya is going to be spending a lot of time with you from now on. She's going to help take care of you. Antonio's eyes went wide. Every day? Most days, Maya confirmed, sitting down beside him. If that's okay with you, that's the best thing ever. He threw his arms around her, neck in a hug that squeezed Maya's heart. She looked up at Dante over Antonio's shoulder. He was watching them with an expression that made her chest tight. Longing, relief, fear. This man would burn the world down for his son. She saw it in every line of his face. I'll leave you two to get acquainted, Dante said quietly. Maya, Marcus will brief you on protocols and security measures. Start date is Monday, but he hesitated. If you're available today, Antonio would probably appreciate it. Translation, please don't leave yet. Please keep being the person my son trusts. I need to pick up Lily from school at 3, Maya said, but I can stay until then. Bring her here, Dante said immediately. Let them meet. If you're going to be part of Antonio's life, your daughter should be too. Family matters in my world. Family. The word hung in the air, loaded with meaning. Okay, Maya agreed. I'll bring her. Dante nodded, started to leave, then paused. Thank you. For last night. For this. You're giving me something I can't buy. What's that? Peace of mind. He left before she could respond. Maya spent the next few hours with Antonio. They built Legos, read books, had lunch that an actual private chef prepared. Antonio told her about his school, his favorite subjects, science and history, his friends, not many, which broke her heart. Why don't you have more friends? Maya asked gently. Antonio's face fell. Papa says it's safer if I don't get too close to people. Because of his work, bad people might try to hurt kids I care about, to hurt Papa. Jesus. 6 years old and already isolated by his father's choices. That must be lonely. Sometimes. Antonio looked up at her with those enormous brown eyes. But now I have you. And I'll have Lily. That's like having friends, right? That's exactly like having friends. At 3, Maya took the SUV. Marcus insisted on driving to pick up Lily from school. Her daughter's eyes nearly popped. out of her head when she saw the vehicle. "Mama, whose car is this?" "It belongs to my new boss. Come on, baby. We're going to meet someone." Lily climbed in, running her hands over the leather seats. "Your new boss must be really rich." "He is. But remember, money doesn't make people good or bad. Actions do. Like when you saved that boy last night." Maya had told her a simplified version medical emergency. "Everything's fine now." "Yes, like that." The ride back to the penthouse felt different with Lily beside her. Maya saw her world, the cracked sidewalks, the graffiti, the struggle contrasted against Dante's world of leather and security and endless resources. Two worlds that shouldn't intersect, but here they were. Antonio was waiting in the lobby with Marcus when they arrived. He stood behind Marcus's legs, suddenly shy. "Antonio," Maya said gently. "This is my daughter, Lily. Lily, this is Antonio. He's who I'll be taking care of at my new job." Lily, ever the social one, stepped forward. "Hi, do you like Legos? Mama said you have lots of Legos." Antonio peeked around Marcus. "You like Legos? I love them, but we only have the mixed-up pieces from the thrift store. Mama says the new sets are too expensive." Something shifted in Antonio's expression. Recognition. Here was someone who understood what it meant to want things you couldn't have. "I have lots of sets," he said quietly. Maybe you could help me build sometime?" "Really?" Lily's face lit up. "That would be so cool." Just like that, the ice broke. Within minutes, they were running ahead to the elevator, chattering about their favorite builds. Marcus watched them go, then looked at Maya. "Your kid's good for him. Antonio doesn't open up to people easily. Lily's good for everyone. She's got her father's charm without his selfishness." "Mr. Russo said you were raising her alone. For 5 years now. We make it work." Marcus nodded slowly. "For what it's worth, you made the right choice taking this job. Boss is intense, but he takes care of his people. You and your daughter will be safe here, safer than anywhere else in this city." It was meant to be reassuring. Instead, it reminded Maya just how much danger she was walking into. Upstairs, the kids disappeared into Antonio's room. Maya found Dante in his office, reviewing documents. He looked up when she entered. They hit it off. Lily's never met a stranger. Maya lingered in the doorway. "Can we talk?" "Of course." He gestured to the chair across from his desk. Maya sat, choosing her words carefully. "Antonio told me he doesn't have many friends. Because it's not safe." Dante's jaw tightened. "It's not. He's 6 years old, Dante. He needs socialization, normal experiences. You can't lock him away because you're afraid. You don't understand. Then help me understand." Maya leaned forward. "I'm going to be part of his life now. I need to know what we're actually dealing with, not vague warnings about danger. Real information." Dante studied her for a long moment. Then he stood, walked to the window. 2 years ago," he said quietly. "Antonio's mother was killed. Car bomb meant for me. She was collateral damage." His voice was flat, emotionless, but Maya heard the grief underneath. "Since then, I've kept Antonio close, controlled his environment, vetted everyone. Because I can't," his voice cracked, "I can't lose him too." Maya's heart broke. "I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry. Just keep him alive." Dante turned back. "That's all I need from you. Keep him alive, keep him happy, give him some piece of normalcy in this fucked up world I've trapped him in." "He's not trapped. You're protecting him." "Am I? Or am I just making him a prisoner of my choices?" Dante's expression was raw. "You saw last night. Someone put those nuts in his room. Someone in my organization tried to kill my son." The words hung heavy between them. "You think it was deliberate?" "I know it was." Marcus reviewed the footage. "One of my men, Paolo, entered Antonio's room yesterday afternoon, placed the bowl, then disappeared." Dante's voice went cold. "We found his body this morning in the river." Maya's blood turned to ice. "You killed him?" "Someone did. Probably whoever paid him to hurt Antonio." Dante's eyes were hard. "This is my world, Maya. This is what you're signing up for. People die. People betray. And the only thing standing between Antonio and that darkness is me. And now you." She should run, should grab Lily and never come back. Instead, she asked, "What do you need from me? Really need?" "Be his shield when I can't be." Dante's voice softened. "Give him love, stability, someone he can count on. And if something happens, if we're ever in a situation like last night again, trust your instincts. Don't wait for permission. Don't hesitate. Save him, always, Maya said without thinking. Something passed between them. A vow, a bond, the beginning of something neither of them could. Its name. The contracts will be ready tomorrow, Dante said. But Maya, once you sign them, there's no going back. You'll be part of this family. That's protection, but it's also responsibility. Are you certain? Maya thought about Lily in the next room, laughing with Antonio, about health insurance and security, and a future that didn't involve drowning. I'm certain. Dante nodded. Then welcome to the family. The next week blurred past in a whirlwind of change. Maya signed contracts that felt more like peace treaties, detailed, binding, loaded with legal language that basically said, "You're in this now." She and Lily moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in a high-rise building that Marcus assured her was secure. Translation: cameras everywhere, guards at every entrance, neighbors who were probably all connected to Dante's organization. But it was clean, spacious, safe. Lily had her own room for the first time in her life. Maya had health, insurance cards that would actually work when she needed them. Her first day officially started on Monday. Marcus picked her up at 7:30, drove her to the penthouse. Dante was already gone business, Marcus said vaguely, but Antonio was awake, excited to start their routine. Maya learned the protocols. Antonio's medications, 3 different ones for his allergies. His dietary restrictions extensive, his schedule structured but flexible. Emergency contacts Marcus Dante, a private doctor who could arrive within minutes. She learned the security measures. Panic buttons in every room, cameras covering every angle, guards who rotated shifts but were always present. The penthouse was a fortress, disguised as a home. And she learned about Antonio himself. He was brilliant reading at a 4th grade level, doing math that challenged Maya. He was funny, with a dry wit that caught her off guard. He was kind, always asking about Lily, making sure Maya was okay. But he was also deeply lonely. He lit up when Lily visited after school, came alive in a way that broke Maya's heart. They'd build together, play games, just be kids. And Maya watched Antonio transform from the careful, guarded boy who was always listening for danger into a normal 6-year-old who laughed too loud and forgot to worry. "Thank you," Dante said one evening, watching them through the playroom window. He'd arrived home early, rare. Maya was learning, and found the 3 of them building an elaborate Lego city. For what? For giving him this. Dante's voice was rough. I haven't seen him this happy since before Elena died. Elena, his wife. The first time Maya had heard her name. He's a great kid. He deserves happiness. So does Lily. Dante glanced at her. Marcus told me you enrolled her in the private school near your apartment. Good. Better education, better security. I can't afford. It's included in your benefits package. Education stipend. He cut her off before she could protest. My people take care of their families, Maya. That includes you now. Both of you. There it was again. Family. The word Dante used like currency, like protection, like a promise. Why are you doing all this? Maya asked quietly. It's more than just hiring a caregiver. Dante was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was barely above a whisper. Because you ran toward danger when everyone else runs away. Because you kept your promise to my son. Because you look at him like he matters, not like he's a liability or a pawn. He met her eyes. Because I trust you, and I don't trust anyone. The intensity of his gaze made her breath catch. Before she could respond, Antonio called out, Papa, Miss Maya, come see what we built. The moment broke. Dante smiled a rare, genuine smile and walked into the playroom. Maya stood there a moment longer, hand pressed to her chest, feeling her heart race. This was dangerous. Not the security or the weapons or the casual mentions. Of violence. This. The way Dante looked at her. The way her body responded. The way she was starting to think of this penthouse as home, and this broken, dangerous man as someone worth understanding. She was a single mother with a daughter to protect. She couldn't afford complications, couldn't afford to feel things for her boss, especially not a boss whose world was built on violence and control. But when she walked into that playroom and saw Dante kneeling beside the kids, listening intently as Antonio explained the defensive structures of their Lego city, she felt it anyway. Felt the pull, the connection, the beginning of something that could destroy them all or save them. She just didn't know which yet. 3 weeks into the job, everything changed. Maya was walking Antonio home from the park, one of the few outings Marcus cleared as safe when she noticed the car. Black sedan, tinted windows, following them for 3 blocks. Her instincts prickled. She pulled out her phone, texted Marcus. Being followed. Black sedan, Illinois plates. The response was immediate. Don't stop walking. Team incoming. Maya kept her pace steady, one hand on Antonio's shoulder. Hey buddy, let's play a game. How fast can you walk without running? Antonio, smart kid that he was, picked up on her tension. What's wrong? Nothing. Just practicing, okay? They were half a block from the building when the sedan pulled alongside them. The window rolled down. A man leaned out, mid-40s, expensive suit, cold eyes. Maya Santos? She didn't answer, kept walking. I have a message for Dante Russo. Tell him the Moretti family doesn't forget debts. Tell him we know about his son. Tell him we'll be in touch. Then the car was gone, speeding away before Maya could even react. Her hands shook. She fumbled with her phone. Texted Marcus again. Moretti family, threatened Antonio. 2 SUVs appeared from nowhere, screeching to a stop. Marcus jumped out, weapon drawn. Inside. Now. He hustled them into the building, into the elevator, into the penthouse where Dante was already waiting. Phone pressed to his ear, fury radiating off him in waves. Get Antonio to his room, Dante ordered. His voice was cold steel. Maya, you stay. Maya took Antonio to his room, turned on a movie, closed the door. When she returned to the living room, Dante was pacing like a caged animal. Tell me exactly what happened. Maya recounted every detail. The car following them, the man's message, the threat. Dante's jaw clenched tighter with every word. When she finished, he turned to Marcus. Mobilize everyone. I want the Morettis to understand that threatening my son means war. Dante, Maya said quietly. Who are the Morettis? He looked at her, and for the first time, she saw true rage in his eyes. Not anger. Rage. They're the family who killed my wife. The room went silent. 2 years ago, the Morettis tried to take territory from me. I refused. They planted a bomb in Elena's car as retaliation. Dante's voice was devoid of emotion. Elena was pregnant. 14 weeks. They killed her and our unborn daughter. Oh God. Dante, I've been waiting for them to make another move. To give me an excuse. They just did. What are you going to do? I'm going to remind them why you don't threaten a Russo's child. He grabbed his jacket, checked his weapon. Marcus, lock down the penthouse. No one gets in. Maya and Antonio don't leave under any circumstances. Dante, wait, Maya said. Is it safe for you to go? I'm never safe. He looked at her, and something in his expression shifted, softened. But I need you to keep Antonio here. Keep him calm. If something happens, if you don't hear from me in 3 hours, Marcus has instructions to get you both out of the city. Nothing's going to happen to you, Maya said fiercely. You don't know that. I know you're too stubborn to die. He laughed, surprising. Both of them. Then he stepped closer, into her personal space, his hand coming up to cup her face. Take care of him. If I don't come back, you're coming back. Maya covered his hand with hers. You're not leaving him, not after everything. Dante's thumb stroked her cheek. For one suspended moment, she thought he might kiss her. Wanted him to kiss her. Then he stepped back, the moment broken. 3 hours, he said. Then he was gone, taking Marcus and 4 other men with him. Maya locked the penthouse door, checked every window, activated every security system she knew about. Then she went to Antonio's room. He was still watching his movie, but his eyes were scared. Papa's in trouble, isn't he? Maya couldn't lie to him. He was too smart. Your papa is handling some business. But he's strong, and he's smart, and he'll be home soon. Promise? She thought about Dante's hand on her face, about the way he'd looked at her, about the fear in his eyes when he talked about losing her. And Antonio, I promise. It was a lie. She had no way of knowing if Dante would survive whatever he was walking into. But Antonio needed certainty, needed hope, so Maya gave it to him. They built Legos, they read books. They had dinner that Maya made from the fully stocked kitchen. And every few minutes, Maya checked her phone. No messages. 2 hours passed, then 2.5. Maya's nerves were stretched tight. She kept imagining worst-case scenarios. Dante dead, men coming for Antonio, having to run, to hide, to start over. At hour 2 and 47 minutes, the penthouse door opened. Maya's heart stopped. She grabbed the knife she'd been cutting vegetables with, positioned herself between the door and Antonio's room. Dante walked in, alive. Blood on his knuckles, his shirt torn, exhaustion written in every line of his face. But alive. "It's done," he said simply. Maya dropped the knife, crossed the room in 3 strides, and without thinking threw her arms around him. He froze for a second, then his arms came around her, holding her tight. He smelled like smoke and copper, and something dark she didn't want to name. "I'm okay," he murmured into her hair. "I'm okay. Don't do that again." Her voice was muffled against his chest. "Don't make me promise, Antonio, you're coming home and then make me wonder if I lied. I'm sorry." His hand stroked her back. "I'm sorry." They stood like that for a long moment. Then Maya pulled back, suddenly aware of the intimacy, the inappropriate closeness. "Is it over? With the Morettis?" "It's over." Dante's voice was final. "They won't be a problem again." Maya didn't ask what that meant. Didn't want to know. "Antonio's in his room. He was scared." "I know." Dante headed toward the back of the penthouse. "I need to see him." Then, he paused, looked back at her. "Then we need to talk." After Dante reassured Antonio, who clung to his father like he might disappear, Maya waited. In the living room, her hands shook as she poured water. Adrenaline crash. Dante emerged 20 minutes later. He'd showered, changed. The blood was gone, but the exhaustion remained. "He's asleep," Dante said. Finally, he was terrified. "I know." Dante poured himself whiskey, downed it in one swallow. "Today proved something I've been avoiding." "What?" "That keeping Antonio here, in the city, makes him a target." Dante refilled his glass. "I need to move him somewhere safer. Somewhere the other families can't reach." Maya's stomach dropped. "You're sending him away?" "Not without you." Dante met her eyes. "I have an estate outside the city, security compound, isolated, safe. I want you and Antonio there, Lily too, all of you, protected while I clean up this mess. For how long? However long it takes." He moved closer. "Maya, today the Morettis threatened my son. Tomorrow it could be the Castellanos or the Russos or any of a dozen families looking for leverage. I can't protect him here. Not really. What about your business? Your life? My life is nothing if Antonio dies." His voice broke. "Please, I need you to do this. I need you to keep him safe where I can't." Maya thought about Lily, about uprooting her from her new school, her new normal, about living in isolation with a man who was becoming far too important to her. "What about you?" she asked quietly. "Who keeps you safe?" Dante's smile was sad. "I don't get to be safe. That's not my role." "That's not an answer. It's the only one I have." He took her hand. "Please, Maya. I'm begging you. Take Antonio somewhere I know he'll survive this." She looked at their joined hands, at this powerful man reduced to begging, at the fear behind his controlled exterior. "Okay," she whispered. "We'll go." Dante closed his eyes, relief washing over him. "Thank you." "But Dante," Maya squeezed his hand. "You better visit. You better not use this as an excuse to disappear from his life. He needs his father. I'll visit. I promise." He pulled her closer, and this time when his hand cupped her face, when his eyes searched hers, she didn't pull away. "Maya," he breathed. "You're saving him. Again. I'm just doing my job. This is so much more than a job. You know that, right?" She did. God help her, she did. The air between them crackled with something dangerous, something neither of them could afford but both desperately wanted. Dante's thumb brushed her lower lip. "I should let you go home. You need rest." "I should go." Neither of them moved. "If I kiss you right now," Dante said quietly, "everything changes. You understand that?" "I understand, and you're still standing here." "I'm still standing here." He kissed her. It was soft at first, questioning, giving her a chance to pull away. But Maya didn't pull away. She leaned in, her hands fisting in his shirt, kissing him back with all the fear and relief and desperate need that had been building for weeks. Dante groaned, deepened the kiss, his arms wrapping around her like she was the only thing keeping him anchored to earth. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, he rested his forehead against hers. "That was a terrible idea," he murmured. "The worst. I don't regret it." "Me neither." They stood like that, wrapped in each other, until reality intruded. Until Maya's phone buzzed with a text from Mrs. Chen asking when she'd be home. "I have to go," Maya whispered. "Lily's waiting." "I know." Dante released her reluctantly. "Marcus will drive you." "And Maya?" He caught her hand one more time. "Thank you. For everything." She left before she could do something stupid like kiss him again. In the SUV, Marcus glanced at her in the rearview mirror. "You good, Miss Santos?" "I don't know what I am anymore." He smiled, a rare thing from Marcus. That's usually what happens when you get involved with the Russos. They change everything. Maya stared out the window at the city lights and wondered if being changed by Dante Russo would save her or destroy her. She suspected she'd find out soon enough. The estate was 2 hours north of Chicago, hidden behind gates that looked medieval and security that looked military. Maya sat in the back of the SUV with Antonio and Lily, both kids pressed against the windows, wide-eyed at the sprawling grounds. Wood stretched in every direction. The main house rose from the landscape like something out of a movie, stone and glass, modern but fortified. "This is where we're staying?" Lily breathed. "It looks like a castle. More like a fortress," Marcus said from the driver's seat. 20 acres, fully monitored, guard stations at every access point. "If a squirrel crosses the property line, we know about it." Antonio barely reacted. He'd been quiet since they left the city 3 days ago, withdrawn in a way that worried Maya. He understood, in that too adult way of his, that they were hiding, that something bad was hunting them. The SUV pulled up to the main entrance. Dante emerged from the front door, and Maya's breath caught despite herself. She hadn't seen him since that kiss, since everything changed. He'd been handling business in the city, Marcus's careful euphemism for violence Maya didn't want details about, but he'd called every night, talked to Antonio, asked about their day with a gentleness that made her chest ache. Now he stood in jeans and a dark sweater, looking less like a mafia boss and more like a man coming home. "Papa!" Antonio launched himself out of the SUV the moment Marcus opened the door. Dante caught him, lifted him easily, buried his face in his son's hair. "Mio figlio, did you behave for Miss Maya?" "Always." Antonio pulled back. "Papa, there are deer here, real deer." Maya said, "Maybe we can see them." "I'm sure we will." Dante set him down, his eyes finding Maya's over Antonio's head. The look he gave her was loaded with everything unsaid. Heat, gratitude, need. "Miss Maya," he said, voice carefully neutral. "Welcome to the estate, Mr. Russo." She could play this game too. Professional distance, safe boundaries, even if her lips still remembered the taste of him. Lily climbed out, staring up at the house with her mouth open. "Whoa." Dante crouched down to her level. "You must be Lily. Antonio's told me a lot about you. All good things, I hope." Lily grinned, her natural confidence shining through. "Very good things." Dante smiled that rare, genuine smile. "How about Antonio shows you around? There's a whole room just for games and toys." "A whole room?" Lily's eyes went saucer-wide. "Come on." Antonio grabbed her hand, already pulling her toward the entrance. The kids disappeared inside, leaving Maya and Dante standing in the afternoon sun, 3 feet apart but feeling closer. "How was the drive?" Dante asked. "Long. The kids were great." Maya crossed her arms, kneading the barrier. "How's the city?" "Handled." His jaw tightened. "The Morettis won't be a problem anymore." "Neither will. They're allies." Maya didn't ask, didn't want to know how many bodies that handled represented. "Good." Dante stepped closer. "Maya, about the other night." "We don't have to talk about it." She cut him off, fear making her voice sharp. "It was a mistake. Adrenaline. We can just forget it happened." Something flashed in his eyes. "Hurt? Anger? Is that what you want? To forget?" "No. God, no." She wanted to kiss him again, wanted to understand what this pull between them meant, wanted to know if a man like him could ever want more than a moment with someone like her. But wanting was dangerous. Wanting led to heartbreak. And she had Lily to think about. "I want to do my job," Maya said carefully. "Keep Antonio safe. Keep boundaries clear. Whatever happened between us, it can't happen again." Dante studied her for a long moment. Then he nodded, his expression shuddering. Understood. Strictly professional. He gestured toward the house. Let me show you your quarters. The tour was brisk, efficient. Marcus shadowed them, pointing out security features like he was showing off a new car. Panic buttons. Reinforced safe room in the basement. Guards patrolling 24/7. Maya and Lily's suite was on the second floor, connected to Antonio's room by a shared bathroom. 2 bedrooms, a sitting area, windows that overlooked the woods. It was bigger than their entire apartment in the city. Mama, this is amazing. Lily bounced on her bed. Can we really stay here? For a little while, baby. Where's Mr. Russo staying? Good question. Dante appeared in the doorway, as if summoned by the mention of his name. 3rd floor. Master suite. Far enough for privacy. Close enough if there's an emergency. Close enough to hear if we scream. Maya translated silently. The kitchen is fully stocked, Dante continued. Chef comes in daily, but you're welcome to cook if you prefer. There's a gym, a pool, a library. Make yourselves at home. Thank you, Maya said stiffly. Dante's eyes held hers for a beat too long. Then he turned to Lily. Miss Lily, would you and Antonio like to feed the horses after dinner? We have 3 in the stable. Horses? Lily looked like she might explode with excitement. Real horses? Very real. Dante smiled. Antonio loves them. I think you will too. After he left, Lily turned to Maya with knowing eyes too old for 7. You like him? He's my boss, Lily. You still like him? I can tell. She flopped back on her bed. He likes you too. He looks at you the way Prince Eric looks at Ariel in the movie. That's enough, baby. Go find Antonio. I need to unpack. After Lily ran off, Maya sat on her bed, head in her hands. This was impossible. She couldn't develop feelings for Dante Russo. He was a criminal, a killer, a man whose world was built on violence. He'd kissed her once in a moment of weakness, and she was reading way too much into it. He probably kissed lots of women, probably forgot about it the next day. Except, he'd called every night. Except he'd looked at her just now like she mattered. Except that kiss had felt like something breaking open inside both of them. Maya stood, shook herself. Focus on the job. Keep Antonio safe. Keep Lily safe. Don't fall for the dangerous man who's paying your salary. Simple. The first week at the estate fell into a routine. Mornings. Maya worked with Antonio on his homeschooling. Dante had arranged for all his materials to be sent ahead. The kid was sharp, racing through lessons that should have taken hours. Afternoons, the kids played. They explored the property with Marcus shadowing them, fed the horses, built elaborate Lego cities, became the inseparable friends that lonely children always became when they finally found their person. Evenings, Dante would appear. He'd have dinner with them, casual family meals that felt surreal. He'd ask about their day. He'd help Antonio with homework. He'd listen to Lily chatter, about everything and nothing. And he'd watch Maya when he thought she wasn't looking. She felt his eyes on her constantly. Across the dinner table, in the hallway, when she was reading to the kids before bed, the awareness between them was a living thing, crackling with tension neither of them could act on. Professional boundaries. Maya reminded herself constantly. This is just a job, except it didn't feel like a job when Antonio climbed into her lap during movie night, or when Lily called Dante Mr. D with easy affection, or when the 4 of them sat on the back porch watching the sunset like they were a real family. On day 9, everything shifted. Maya woke at 2 a.m. to screaming. She ran to Antonio's room, found him thrashing in bed, caught in a nightmare. Dante was already there, trying to wake him gently. No! Don't hurt her! Mama! Antonio's voice was raw, terrified. Antonio, wake up. You're safe. Wake up, son. Antonio's eyes flew open, wild and unfocused. He saw Dante, and immediately started sobbing. Papa, I dreamed about Mama. About the fire. I saw her burning and I couldn't help her, and shh, I've got you. Dante pulled him close, rocking him. It was just a dream. Just a dream. But it wasn't just a dream. Maya saw it in Antonio's face, in the way his whole body shook. This was memory. Trauma surfacing. Did he see it? Maya asked quietly. When his mother died? Dante's eyes met hers over Antonio's head. The pain there was devastating. He was in the car, in his car seat. The bomb was on a timer. It went off 30 seconds after Elena got in. His voice cracked. Antonio was screaming for her. He saw everything. Oh God. Maya crossed the room, sat on Antonio's other side. Hey, sweetheart, look at me. Antonio turned, tears streaming. That nightmare can't hurt you, Maya said gently. I know it feels real, but you're safe. Your papa's here. I'm here. Nothing's going to hurt you. But Mama, your mama loved you so much. And I know she'd want you to be happy, not scared. Maya stroked his hair. She'd want you to remember the good times, not the bad ones. I can't stop seeing her face. I know. Maya pulled him into her arms. But every time you have that nightmare, we're going to chase it away with good memories. Tell me your favorite thing about your mama. Antonio hiccuped. She used to sing Italian songs while she cooked. That's beautiful. What else? She read me stories, the same ones every night, and she made the best hot chocolate with extra marshmallows. Those are the memories you hold on to, Maya said. Those are the ones that matter. Slowly, Antonio's sobs quieted. He sagged against Maya, exhausted from the emotional storm. Can you stay? He whispered. Until I fall asleep? Of course. Maya stayed, one arm around Antonio, feeling Dante's presence on the other side of the bed. They stayed like that for an hour, waiting until Antonio's breathing evened out, until sleep claimed him again. Finally, Maya carefully extricated herself. Dante followed her into the hallway. Thank you, he said hoarsely. He has those nightmares every few weeks. I never know what to say, how to make it better. You just have to be there. Let him feel it and move through it. Maya leaned against the wall. Has he had therapy? 4 different therapists. None of them could get him to open up. Dante scrubbed a hand over his face. He talks to you, though. Trusts you. I'm not his parent. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone with less history. Maybe. Dante moved closer. Close enough that Maya could feel his warmth. Or maybe it's because you see him. Really see him. Not the trauma or the danger. Just Antonio. He's a good kid who's been through hell. Of course I see him. You see me too. Dante's voice dropped. Don't you? Maya's breath caught. Dante, you said we needed boundaries. That what happened was a mistake. He was so close now. Barely a foot of space between them. Were you lying to me or to yourself? Both, Maya admitted. I don't know how to do this. How to want you and keep my daughter safe. How to look at you and not think about all the ways this could destroy us. What if it doesn't destroy us? What if it saves us? You don't believe that. I didn't. Until you. Dante cupped her face, the gesture achingly gentle. Maya, I've spent 2 years numb, functional but dead inside. Then you walked into my life, saved my son, looked at me like I was more than what I do, like I was worth something beyond fear and power. You are worth something. You're Antonio's father. You're a man trying to protect what matters, and you matter. His thumb stroked her cheek. God help me, you matter more than you should. This is a bad idea. But Maya didn't pull away. Terrible idea. Dante leaned closer. We're going to regret this. Probably. His lips brushed hers, soft and questioning. Do you want me to stop? No. She didn't want him to stop. Didn't want this moment to end. Didn't want to keep pretending that she wasn't falling for this complicated, dangerous, tender man. Don't stop, Maya whispered. Dante kissed her like she was air and he'd been drowning. Deep, consuming, desperate. His hand slid into her hair, angling her head for better access. Maya's fingers dug into his shoulders, holding on as the world tilted. This wasn't the careful kiss from before. This was need and hunger and everything they'd been holding back for weeks, crashing through every barrier. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Dante rested his forehead against hers. I want you, he said raggedly. Not just this. All of it. You in my life, in Antonio's life. I want to wake up and see you. Go to sleep knowing you're close. He laughed bitterly. I want things I have no right to want from you. What if I want them too? Dante pulled back, searched her face. You mean that? I'm terrified, and this is insane. And I have no idea how we make this work. Maya touched his face, traced the scar on his jaw. But yes, I want this. Want you. Want us to try. Something fierce and tender blazed in Dante's eyes. Then we try. Carefully, slowly. We protect the kids first. Always. But we try. We try. Maya agreed. He kissed her again, softer this time. A promise, instead of desperation. When they finally separated, Maya forced herself to step back. I should sleep. Tomorrow's going to be long. Maya? Dante caught her hand. This isn't a mistake. I won't let it be. She wanted to believe him. Wanted to believe that love, because that's what this was becoming, wasn't it? Could survive in his world. But as she crawled back into her bed, staring at the ceiling, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that happiness was temporary. That danger was coming. That the universe never let people like her keep good things. 2 weeks of cautious happiness followed. Maya and Dante stole moments' kisses in the hallway when the kids were asleep. Quiet conversations on the back porch after dinner, his hand finding hers under the table. They didn't tell Antonio and Lily. Not yet. It was too new, too fragile. But Antonio noticed anyway. Papa's happy now, he told Maya one afternoon, while they worked on his math. He smiles more, laughs. He's like he was before Mama died. That's good, right? Really good. Antonio looked up at her, wise beyond his years. It's because of you. You make him happy. I think you make him happy, sweetheart. I make him worried. You make him happy. Antonio grinned. I like it. I like you being here. I wish you could stay forever. Maya's heart squeezed. Me too, baby. That night, after the kids were in bed, Maya found Dante in his study. He was on the phone, speaking Italian, his voice hard. She started to leave, but he gestured her in, wrapping up the call. Problem? Maya asked when he hung up. Always. Dante pulled her close, buried his face in her neck. Just breathing her in. But manageable. How was your day? Good. Antonio's almost done with his second-grade curriculum. He might need third-grade materials soon. Smart kid. Your kid. Maya threaded her fingers through his hair. Dante? Antonio said something today. About wanting me to stay forever. Dante lifted his head, studied her face. And what do you want? The honest answer scared her. I want to stay. Want this to be real. Want to believe we can build something, then believe it. Dante kissed her softly. I'm not letting you go, Maya. Not now, not ever. You're mine. You and Lily both. My family. You can't just claim people. Watch me. His smile was wolfish. I'm a Russo. When we want something, we take it. And I want you. Maya should have been offended by the possessiveness. Instead, she felt safe, wanted, like she belonged. Then take me, she whispered. Dante's eyes darkened. You sure? I'm sure. He kissed her, hands roaming, pulling her closer. Maya melted into him, letting herself feel everything she'd been holding back. They made it to the couch, hands and mouths desperate. Clothes disappeared, and for the first time in years, Maya felt alive. Felt wanted not for what she could do, but for who she was. Afterward, they lay tangled together, hearts still racing. I love you, Dante said quietly. I know it's too soon, too fast. But I love you, Maya Santos. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving you didn't make a mistake trusting me. Maya's eyes burned with tears. I love you too. Even though I shouldn't. Even though this is crazy. The best things always are. Dante pulled her closer. Stay tonight. Sleep here. Let me wake up with you. The kids will survive seeing us happy. He kissed her forehead. Please. Maya nodded. Let herself be held. Let herself believe that maybe, just maybe, they could make this work. She fell asleep in Dante's arms, feeling safer than she had in years. She didn't know that safety was an illusion. That 3 floors below, alarms were about to shatter everything. The attack came at 4 a.m. Maya woke to sirens, red emergency lights flashing through the windows. Dante was already up, pulling on clothes, grabbing a weapon from a safe Maya hadn't known existed. What's happening? She scrambled out of bed, heart hammering. Breach. Someone got through the perimeter. His face was grim. Stay here. Lock the door. Don't open it for anyone but me or Marcus. Dante. I need to get Antonio. Get Lily. Get you all to the safe room. He grabbed her shoulders. Do you understand? Safe room. Now. Maya ran. Threw on clothes. Sprinted to her suite. Lily was already awake, terrified by the alarms. "Mama, what's wrong?" "We're playing a game, baby. We're going to go to a special room where we'll be safe. Okay?" "I'm scared." "I know. But Mama's here. I've got you." Maya grabbed Lily, ran to Antonio's room. Dante was already there, holding his son, who looked sleep-dazed and confused. "Is someone trying to hurt us?" Antonio asked. "Not if I can help it." Dante handed him to Maya. "Safe room. Third door on the left at the end of the hall. Marcus is already there." "What about you?" "I'm handling this." Dante kissed Antonio's forehead, then pulled Maya close, kissed her hard. "I love you. Keep them safe. Dante, please, go. Now." Gunfire erupted from somewhere below. Maya ran. The hallway was chaos, guards running, weapons drawn, someone shouting orders in Italian. Maya clutched both kids, racing toward the safe room. Marcus appeared, ushering them through a reinforced door. Inside was a small room with monitors showing security feeds, supplies, weapons. "Lock it behind me," Marcus ordered. "Where are you going?" "To help the boss." His expression was grim. "Don't open this door for anyone who doesn't know the code word. Understand?" "What's the code word?" "Fortress. Only Mr. Russo and I know it. Anyone else tries to get in, you assume they're hostile." Then he was gone. Maya locked the door, her hands shaking. On the monitors, she could see figures in black tactical gear sweeping through the estate, could see Dante's men engaging them. Could see, oh God, there were at least a dozen attackers, professional, well-armed. This wasn't a random assault. This was an execution. "Mama?" Lily's voice was small. "What's happening?" "People are trying to hurt Mr. D and Antonio," Maya said honestly. "But we're safe here. Nothing can get through this door. What if they hurt Papa?" Antonio's eyes were huge with fear. "Your Papa is very strong. He's going to be fine." Maya watched the monitors, her heart in her throat. Dante moved through the chaos with lethal efficiency, taking down attackers with brutal precision. Marcus was beside him, equally deadly. But there were so many. Too many. One monitor showed 3 men heading up the stairs, toward the second floor, toward the safe room. Maya's blood turned to ice. "Kids, get behind me. Now." "What's wrong?" Lily asked. "Just do it, please." Maya grabbed one of the weapons Marcus had, left a handgun she barely knew how to use. But she'd learn fast if it meant protecting these children. The men reached the safe room door, started working on the lock. "Mama, they're going to get in," Lily whispered. "No, they're not." Maya's voice was steel. "I won't let them." The lock mechanism beeped. Once, twice. On the monitor, Maya saw Dante running up the stairs, Marcus behind him, but they were too far. They wouldn't make it in time. The lock disengaged. The door started to open. Maya raised the gun, her hand steady despite her terror. "Get behind the cabinet, both of you. Don't come out until I say." "Maya," Antonio started. "Now!" The kids scrambled to hide. The door opened fully. A man in tactical gear stepped through, weapon raised, and Maya fired. The sound was deafening in the small space. The man went down, clutching his shoulder. 2 more men pushed through. Maya fired again, until the gun clicked empty. 1 man was down. The other 2 advanced. Maya threw the gun, grabbed a knife from the supply wall. "You're not touching these kids. You understand me? You're not touching them." The first man lunged. Maya dodged, barely slashed with the knife. She'd never fought in her life, but desperation made her dangerous. She connected. The man screamed, stumbled back. The second man grabbed her from behind, arm around her throat, cutting off air. Maya struggled, couldn't breathe, darkness creeping in at the edges of her vision. The man's grip loosened. He dropped, blood spreading across his chest. Dante stood in the doorway, gun smoking, his face a mask of pure fury. "Are you hurt?" His voice was deadly calm. Maya coughed, sucked in air. "I'm fine. The kids. Antonio. Lily," Dante called. They emerged from behind the cabinet, both sobbing. Dante gathered. Antonio in his arms, checked him over frantically. Marcus appeared, did the same with Lily. "We're okay," Antonio managed. "Miss Maya protected us. She shot them." Dante's eyes found Maya's. In them she saw terror, relief, rage, love. "Marcus, get them out of here. There's a secondary exit through the tunnels." Take them to the Chicago safe house. Don't stop for anything. What about you? Marcus asked. I'm ending this. Tonight. Dante's voice was ice. Go. Now. Marcus didn't argue. He scooped up both kids, headed for a hidden panel in the wall. Dante. Maya started. He crossed to her in 2 strides, crushed his mouth to hers in a kiss that tasted like blood and fear and desperation. I love you, he said against her lips. I'll find you, I promise. But I need you safe first. Don't die. Maya gripped his shirt. Please don't die. Not planning on it. He kissed her once more, then physically turned her toward Marcus. Go with them. Protect Antonio. That's all that matters. Maya wanted to argue, wanted to stay and fight beside him. But Antonio needed her. Lily needed her. She went, through the hidden tunnels, through the dark. Marcus leading them with night vision goggles and a weapon in his free hand. Above them, gunfire continued. Explosions shook the walls. Is Papa going to be okay? Antonio asked, his voice breaking. Your Papa is the strongest man I know, Marcus said. He'll be fine. But Maya heard the uncertainty, saw the tension in Marcus's shoulders. This wasn't fine. This was war. They emerged into a garage Maya hadn't known existed. Marcus loaded them into an armored SUV, tires squealing as they tore down a dirt road away from the estate. Maya looked back, saw flames, saw smoke rising into the pre-dawn sky, saw everything they'd built burning. It's going to be okay, she told the kids, holding them close. We're safe. We're going to be okay. But she didn't know if she believed it. The Chicago safe house was a nondescript building in an industrial district. Marcus hustled them inside, through multiple security checkpoints, into a sparse apartment with reinforced windows and enough weapons to start a small war. You'll stay here until Mr. Russo arrives, Marcus said. I need to go back. Help clean up. Clean up? Maya's voice was sharp. Marcus, what happened? Who attacked us? The Castellanos. They formed an alliance with what was left of the Moretti family. His expression was grim. This was a coordinated hit. They wanted Antonio dead and Mr. Russo broken. Did they succeed? At the estate? No. But this isn't over. Marcus headed for the door. Don't leave this apartment. Don't open the door for anyone. There's food, supplies, everything you need. Mr. Russo will be here as soon as he can. And if he doesn't make it? Marcus paused. Then I'll come back for you. Get you and the kids somewhere safe. New identities, new lives, whatever it takes. He left before Maya could process that. The next 6 hours were the longest of Maya's life. She kept the kids distracted, made breakfast, set up movies, pretended everything was normal, while her insides churned with terror. Dante should have called by now, should have checked in. The silence was deafening. At noon, Lily finally asked the question Maya had been dreading. Mama, is Mr. D dead? No, baby. He's just busy. You don't know that. Antonio's voice was small, broken. They killed my mama. Maybe they killed Papa too. Maya pulled him close. Your Papa is a survivor. He's going to come back to us. You promise? She couldn't promise. Had no way of knowing if Dante was alive or dead or hurt. But these kids needed hope. I promise. At 2 p.m, the door lock beeped. Maya grabbed a knife from the kitchen, positioned herself in front of the kids. The door opened. Dante stood in the threshold, covered in blood, swaying on his feet, but alive. God alive. Papa. Antonio launched himself, forward. Dante caught him, held him tight, his eyes closing briefly. I'm here, mio figlio. I'm here. Then his gaze found Maya's. The relief in his expression nearly brought her to her knees. Are you hurt? She asked, already moving toward him. Not my blood. Mostly. He set Antonio down gently. We need to talk. Marcus appeared behind him, equally bloodied but moving more steadily. I'll watch the kids. You two take a minute. In the bedroom, away from small ears, Dante collapsed onto the bed. Now that Antonio couldn't see, the pain showed. He had cuts on his face, burns on his hands, moved like his ribs were broken. Jesus, Dante. Maya grabbed the first aid kit from the bathroom. Let me see. I'm fine. You're bleeding. Let me help. He submitted to her care silently, watching her face as she cleaned wounds and wrapped bandages. Is it over? Maya asked quietly. The Castellanos are gone. The Morettis are gone. Anyone who supported them is dead or running. His voice was flat. It's over. For now. For now, he agreed. There's always another threat. Another family looking for leverage. That's my world. Maya's hand stilled. I know. You almost died tonight. You had to shoot a man to protect Antonio. Dante caught her wrist. That's what being with me means. Constant danger. Always looking over your shoulder. Never really safe. I know. Maya repeated. Do you? Because I need you to understand what you're signing up for. His grip tightened. I love you. God. I love you so much it terrifies me. But I can't lose you the way I lost Elena. Can't watch another woman I love die because of my choices. So what are you saying? Maya's voice was barely a whisper. That this is over? That we can't be together? I'm saying you have a choice. Dante's eyes were devastated. You can stay. Be with me. Be with Antonio. But you accept the danger. You accept that any day could be the day someone comes for you. Or, he swallowed hard, you can walk away. Take Lily. Start over somewhere safe. I'll give you money, protection, new identities. You'll never have to worry about anything again. Except you. Maya cupped his face. I'd have to worry about you. Wonder if you were alive or dead. Spend every day knowing I abandoned someone I love because I was scared. Fear is smart. Fear keeps you alive. Fear also keeps you alone. Maya kissed him softly. I'm not walking away, Dante. Not from you, not from Antonio. We're a family now. Messy, dangerous, complicated, but ours. Maya, I love you. I love Antonio. And I'm not abandoning either of you because your world is hard. Her voice was fierce. We'll figure it out. We'll be careful. We'll protect the kids. But I'm staying. Dante pulled her close, buried his face in her neck. She felt wetness tears he'd never admit to. You're insane, he murmured. Probably. But you're insane. He laughed, the sound broken. Mine, always mine. They held each other while the city moved outside, while danger lurked in shadows, while an uncertain future waited. But for now, in this moment, they had each other. And that was enough. 6 months later, the new estate was smaller than the last one. Closer to the city but still secure. Still safe. Maya stood in the kitchen, making breakfast, while Lily and Antonio argued over the TV remote. Normal kid stuff. Beautiful, mundane, safe. Dante came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, kissed her neck. Morning. Morning. She leaned into him. Sleep okay? Better than I have in years. His hand slid to her stomach, where a small bump was just starting to show. How's our girl? Active. She was kicking at 2 a.m. Takes after her mother. Dante turned her around, kissed her properly. Strong, stubborn, beautiful. Flattery will get you everywhere. I'm counting on it. They'd gotten married 3 months ago. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Marcus had walked Maya down the aisle. Antonio had been the ring bearer, so proud in his tiny suit. Lily had cried happy tears. It wasn't the life Maya had imagined. Wasn't safe, or normal, or easy, but it was theirs. Kids, breakfast, Maya called. Lily and Antonio ran in, already bickering again. But they were smiling, happy, thriving. Mama, can we go to the park today? Lily asked. If Marcus says it's safe, always safe with Marcus. Antonio grinned. He'd grown in the past 6 months. Gotten taller, more confident. The nightmares came less frequently now. He was healing. They all were. After breakfast, while the kids played outside with Marcus shadowing them, Dante pulled Maya onto the porch swing. I have something for you. Dante, you already give me everything. Not this. He handed her an envelope. Inside were legal documents. Maya's eyes widened as she read. You're formally adopting Antonio? If you'll agree. I want you to be his mother legally, not just in his heart. Dante's voice was soft. He calls you Mama now when he thinks I can't hear. I want to make it official. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Yes, God, yes. There's more. She flipped through the pages, stopped when she saw the second set of documents. You're adopting Lily? If that's okay, I want us to be a complete family. All of us, legal and binding. Dante took her hand. She's already mine in every way that matters. This just makes it official. Maya couldn't speak, could only throw her arms around him and hold on tight. I love you, she finally managed. I love you so much. I love you too, my wife, mother of my children, the woman who saved us all. They sat on that porch swing, watching their kids play, feeling the baby kick between them, building something precious from the ashes of violence and fear. It wasn't perfect. There were still threats, still danger, still nights when Dante came home bloodied and exhausted from protecting what was theirs. But they had each other. They had their children. They had hope. And in the end, that was everything. Epilogue. 2 years later, Antonio was 8 now, reading at a 6th grade level, and building robots in his spare time. Lily was 9, fierce and protective, and planning to be either a doctor or a superhero she hadn't decided yet. Baby Isabella was 18 months old, toddling around on chubby legs, already showing signs of her father's stubbornness and her mother's kindness. Maya stood in the doorway of their home, their real home. Not a safe house or an estate, but a house they'd bought together in a quiet suburb and watched her family. Dante was on the floor with Isabella, helping her stack blocks. Antonio was teaching Lily some complicated math concept. Marcus sat in the corner, ever present, but smiling. This was her life now. Chaotic, complicated, filled with love and laughter, and the occasional reminder that danger still existed in the shadows. But they'd survived, not just survived, thrived. "Mama!" Isabella called, running on unsteady legs. "Up!" Maya scooped her up, kissed her dark curls. "Hi, baby girl. Mama's home." Antonio looked up from his lesson. "Did you finish the charity event?" "All done. We raised enough to open 2 more community clinics." Maya had started a foundation funded by Dante's legitimate businesses that provided free medical care to underserved communities. Her way of giving back, of using their resources for good. "That's my girl," Dante said, pulling her close for a kiss. "Changing the world 1 clinic at a time. Someone has to balance out your karma," Maya teased. "Good thing I married her then." That night, after the kids were in bed, Maya and Dante stood on their back porch. The city glowed in the distance, but here they had peace, safety, home. "Do you ever regret it?" Dante asked quietly. "Staying with me? Accepting this life?" Maya thought about the struggling single mother she'd been. About the desperation, the fear, the endless hustle just to survive. Then she thought about the woman she was now. Loved, secure, surrounded by family, still fighting for things that mattered, but with resources and support. "Never," she said. "Not once. Even though it's dangerous, even though I can't promise normal is overrated." Maya turned in his arms. "I'd rather have dangerous and real than safe and empty." Dante kissed her, slow and deep. "I love you, Maya Russo. I love you too." They stood there wrapped in each other, while their children slept safe inside, while the world turned outside, while their impossible love continued to defy every odd. Maya had rushed a Mafia boss's allergic son to the ER, thinking she was just doing her job. Instead, she'd found a family, found love, found herself, and she'd never been happier. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you love this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.